Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddin and today we are going to solve another lab number 3 from WebSocket vulnerabilities. And this lab is all about cross-site WebSocket hijacking. That means an attacker or a threat actor is going to hijack your WebSocket connection by exploiting the cross-site domain or CSRF, which is cross-site request forgery. So if you are not very familiar with the CSRF, no problem, we will cover that in future videos. Before going further, this little disclaimer as always for you: this video and its content are only for educational and awareness purpose, and I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That's been said, before going deeper or before diving deeper into this lab, I just want to give you a high level overview why this vulnerability arises and how an attacker can exploit it. So some WebSocket security vulnerabilities arises when an attacker makes a cross-domain WebSocket connection. Okay, so you will think that you are going on the correct path or on the correct server, but there is cross-domain connection which is not terminating to the correct server but the attacker controlled server, as mentioned here. This is known as cross-site WebSocket jacking attack, and if you want to read it or understand it in more detail, you can click on this link and you will be able to have or access this specific topic. And it involves exploiting a cross-site request forgery. So as I mentioned, that this WebSocket hijacking is more about exploiting the cross-site request forgery vulnerability on a WebSocket handshake. So the attacker often has a serious impact, allowing an attacker to perform privileged actions on behalf of the victim user or capture sensitive data to which the victim user has access. So let's go and we are going to solve this lab. So this is our lab, and I already open up the burp proxy here, and this time I'm using the professional version because you need the burp collaborator. Portswigger will not allow you to redirect or your request to any other domain or whatever you want or your control domain, no, but you can use the burp collaborator for that purpose, and you will confirm the attack by hitting back the HTTP and DNS request. We will see that in a minute. And intercept is on here, and I'm going to arrange this a bit so that you will be able to see both of the screens simultaneously. Okay, so I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser, and here we go. I'm going to hit to the live chat button. Okay, here we have the /chat. Forward this request. Okay, here we have this one is going to be, this is the handshake request. As you can see here, the sec WebSocket version is equal to 3. Connection keep alive is normal, but in WebSocket handshake request you will find here upgrade, and in the last you will find one more HTTP request header which is going to be upgrade, and its value is going to be WebSocket. And here you can also see different parameters of other WebSocket headers. Okay, that means this request is the handshake request. Now I'm going to forward this. We got another /chat request. Here we have the session cookie, but we do not have here any CSRF token, and that is the problem. So forward that. Chat has ended. Let's go and say something like hello. Send this again, and I think the chat has ended, and we have to again refresh it. So I'm going to just forward that. Okay, forward and come back here. Forward this. Let's say hello. Ready. Okay. Hello. Send this again. This is the message. Okay, fine, typing, and we got the reply, I think. Yeah, now we got the reply. Fine. Now I'm going to of the intercept, go back to the HTTP history here. And most importantly here, if you see the WebSocket history, this is the reply from the server side agent, and yeah, this was our message. We have the ready, yeah, there is the ready one. Okay, go back to the HTTP history, and here we have the chat. Okay, and I'm going to right click here, and I'm just going to copy this URL, come back here and paste that URL here. Fine. Now, as we saw before, that to exploit it, we have to establish a connection or to the attacker server, and that server is controlled by the attacker. So this lab include the exploit server. I'm going to the exploit server, but before going to exploit server, we need to write a script that is going to be published on the attacker controlled server, and when the victim access that attacker controlled server, that script is going to be executed and we will exfiltrate the data. So we will try that here. Script let's say where ws, and we also know that how we can connect to the WebSocket. So WebSocket, and we need to mention here WSS because this is secured one, and we need to mention here this URL, the chat URL. Okay, come back here, ws.onOpen. So when I'm actually bad in talking while writing. We need to remove HTTPS from here. So on opening the WebSocket, what we want a function, and what this function will do, we will mention here. Okay, so we will say ws.send, and send what? Send the ready message, right? Just before sending the message. Okay, now what we need here, we need to mention ws.onMessage. After ready, we will send the message, right? If you see here in the WebSocket, this is the ready, and after ready we send the message hello. Okay, so this chunk may be different for you. Maybe you have more requests, because I lost the connection and the live chat was closed, so I'm not sure whether you will get total number of 6 requests or more. But the main thing is, after ready you are going to send the message. So first you establish the connection, and on opening the connection you are using a function, and within that function you are sending ready to the WebSocket, and after that you are going to send a message, and in the message you are again going to mention a function, and this function is going to be an event. Okay, now fetch https:// and here we are going to put our burp collaborator client, copy clipboard and paste it here. So at this instant, when it is going to send a message, it is an event which is going to access or fetching the information from this burp collaborator, and when it is going to try to access this burp collaborator, we will get a hit on our collaborator with HTTP and DNS request, right? The next thing is we need to mention the method. So method is going to be the post method, and mode is going to be no cross origin resource sharing. Okay, and body, in the body we want event data, event.data. so in that event, okay, that's it. We just need this to be here and everything is okay. So hope you understand that. Without wasting time, I'm just going to copy this, come back here to the exploit server, and in the exploit server, in the body section, we need to paste that. Now view exploit. So once you view this exploit and you back to the burp collaborator client, and when you poll now, you should have hit here, and as you can see, you get the DNS and HTTP. So that means this script is working fine, and through this script you are getting hit on your control domain. Fine. Back to the exploit server. If we go to the HTTP history, request to the collaborator, and here as you can see, we are getting some messages, right? So now let's see something else. Now let's store this and deliver this to the victim. So this exploit server you can consider like your controlled server or attacker controlled server, which is going to feed or offer this script to be executed, right? So deliver exploit to the victim. And now just poll it again, and as you can see, we found more DNS and HTTP requests. So if we hit on this, the first HTTP request, come back here, and as you can see, we found something weird message. We found some weird messages like user is saying user is you, and the content is I forgot my password. Scroll down, and the second HTTP request, this one. So in that way, we are able to exfiltrate the chat history of the user, because there is no CSRF token, right? And here, as you can see, the content, and content is no problem, Carlos. It is your password. This one is actually, I think, HTTP encoded form of the apostrophe. So go to the decoder, paste that, smart decode. Yeah, this is the encoded form of the apostrophe. So it's saying no problem, Carlos, it's your password, and this is the password. So I'm going to copy this back here. Username is Carlos and the password is that. Now let's go back to our lab. Okay, and I'm going to click to my account. The username is Carlos and the password I already copied, so just paste it here, log in, and we should logged in. And as you can see, my account, we logged in, your username is Carlos, and blah blah blah. So congratulations, you solved the lab, and that's it for this lab. Hope you understand it. If you have any query, please put your query in the comment section. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.